What's up, Vape fam? Welcome to another episode of the Ohm Kiwis coming at you from little old New Zealand at the bottom of the world. Welcome to episode 55. And it's Saturday. I know, weird. Hey, Megs, how you doing?
I'm a little perplexed. So doing the show on a Saturday, so what's up with that? But yeah, I mean we had problems with trying to do the show on Wednesday, and so yeah, I thought we might as well do it today. Fun.
home from traveling as well, so it made things a whole lot easier on both of our sides to do the show today. And hopefully you guys out there are doing all good as well. We've just appeared on YouTube now, Megs. Hey, there's a few people out in chat. I hope everybody is having a good night tonight. How y'all doing? I'll just let a few people roll in and let them know that we've gone live. There's little notifications that roll out.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got lots to talk about tonight. Hey, Megs, we've been traveling all over the place this last week. It's been a big one.
Yeah, it has. It was such.
Oh, hang on, stop before I forget. The competition is now closed. All entries stop.
Yes.
We'll announce the winner in a wee bit, but I always forget to say it when we go live at the beginning of the show. Competition entry for the Adam Vapes global giveaway closed, and we will draw that in a wee bit. Okay, sorry, Megs. Carry on, darling. Been a big week, hasn't it, darling?
Yeah, it has. The weekend was. Oh my god. Lots of oh my gods. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, we've had a fabulous week. Hang on, I'm going to put the top cap on mine. I haven't worked it yet. I'm hoping to get to it while we're on the show. But here's my baby too. Hold yours up, Megs. Yes, Megan and I both got white brass.
Wait for the camera to sort of suss itself.
Oh, yeah,
APPAREL.
I'm not even going to try. Mine won't autofocus. However, just while we're there.
Stop it with you and your.
Can you guys see it? Can you see it?
She's got my number.
It's my number 2, baby. That's why I got it. I don't even know if the cameras can see it. Anyway, if you can't see it, if my shitty camera isn't picking that up, I have serial number 130013. Yay, I got my number. Completely by accident. It was completely by universal accident and was not planned on Brandon's part whatsoever. Complete fluke. 100% swear. Trippy as. But it's been an amazing week. We do have lots to talk about. I'm going to give some shout outs out there to some fam hanging. Fams, I see yous. We got a few right across the globe hanging out. What up to everybody? Hey out there to Elmo, Mr. Nick, who was one of the organisers with us for Christchurch VapeDay as well. Jackie's hanging out there from Australia. Lawrence, we see you, darling. Mick Level Carvings. Hey, Nomi. Hey, we got Nick and Corinne hanging from the other end of the country. Shawnee, Mr. Vape Force in the house. SMD, nice to see, honey. It's been a while. Vaping Bachelor and V-Dog hanging out from the States and Canada. How you doing, guys? Oh, and Dave just popped in. I saw that. Hope everybody is well, wherever you may be across the globe. Okay. So we'll just launch straight into Christchurch VapeDay. We'll just go in the order that I made that old title in.
Okay.
It's just easier that way. Do we need to do what we're vaping on, honey? Do we need to? Shall we show what juice have you got in that beautiful Admiral of yours?
Well, as well as like the Admiral, I've got my Hustler box with the Indie Duo RDA on there. I don't have. It's funny. there's a little story regarding this this RDA. I won't put the glass tank thing on because it becomes like a 30mm addy, and
Huge.
I don't like overhang. I hate it with a passion. So I just use the other top cap that comes with it, which is really funny because the moment I looked at it, it's like, okay, you look exactly like the top cap that goes on the Indestructible.
Oh, okay.
The only difference being is that the Indestructible RDA has a single airflow option just by moving the top cap.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was having weird moments with the one that came with this Indie Duo, where the top cap wasn't sitting on the deck space properly. So I switched it with the Indestructible top cap, but still sticking with the Indie Duo drip tip. It's hilarious. So I've got a ridiculous amount of airflow going on this thing. So I've got the two side ones, which is the normal one, as well as the single.
Airflow.
Yeah,
Hoover, like a vacuum.
it's hilarious, but yeah, it works well. It works good.
As long as it's doing its job, darling. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why we have them, isn't it?
But the juice that I'm vaping on both of my setups, so the Hustler and the Admiral, is Heisenberg.
Oh, a bit of Morris Vaporize.
Yeah, I'm actually enjoying it, as you can kind of tell because I've vaped a bit of it already. So yes, I'm vaping that in both of my two setups that I have going at the moment. So yeah, it's good. I'm liking it. But then again, like I've tried Morris's Sublime V2 as well, thanks to Maxie, who I've also seen just jump into the chat. And that's good, but yeah, I'm really liking Heisenberg at the moment. Nice. Very nice.
What's up out there to Maxie? Yeah, I just spy you pop in as well, honey. So I'm vaping on one of the new juices that I got at VapeDay, which is a Grandman juice. Man, it was so cool to meet Dom in person and chat, and like I've talked to him lots over the last few years, just on messages, and he's just like every other vendor. It's just awesome to put a face and hang properly in person, and yeah, this juice is yum. If you haven't tried it, if you're into the light dessert type feel, this is a lemon. Hang on, I'm going to try and say it right. A lime brulee, which is a lemon creme brulee style vape. Hang on, where's my screen? The old Green Man e-juice. I wish I'd been able to find this particular logo to put on today's thumbnail, actually, because it's got that globe behind the Celtic moon in the background. Anyway, yum, totally yum. So I'm vaping on that in my Limitless, I'm a Hustler, which I just managed to get reworked, which is why we were running late. Sorry, guys. I was working by my V1, my Limitless. And I also have with me today Broadside babies. No, the top caps aren't on them right this second. I did just put my top cap back on my black gun on my Admiral. Obviously, look, you can see they're both built, they're ready to work, they've both got batteries in them. I'm going to try and work them during the show so I can get it running. I just ran out of time. I had to whip off to the supermarket earlier, so I just ran out of time to get them worked. But they've got bats in them, they're ready to go. So I have a set of Megan's Fuse Claptons and my Black Goon on the Admiral, and a set of, what did I just say before, Megan? Demon Killer Coils on my Apocalypse Gen. Oh, there's the pretty. On my broadside, on my copper broadside. Whoa, glare. We can never see that one right. You guys know what the Apocalypse awesome emblem logo looks like. That guy. So yeah, I'm gonna try and work those guys up. They are ready to go aside from the cotton. haven't decided what I'm going to vape on them yet. Maybe some new goodies that I got from the States that was here. Vape mail waiting for me when I got home. I'm just going to like sideline onto this for a sec, Megan.
It's okay.
What up? Big loves. Thank you. Mwah, 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 mwah. All
Mr.
the kisses
Giancarlo.
to Giancarlo of the Omegeddon e-liquids and his beautiful wife, Lisa, who is Duck Pond e-liquid, also known as Ducky. I came home rather, to an awesome package of both their juice lines sent to me that I have to split up and send some to Megs for both of us to try. Wow, amazing, bless, because that is just complete love right there, sent from the other side of the world. So yeah, when I get them worked up, I'm going to chuck one of each, a Ducky and a Giancarlo, onto each of those mix and give them a whirl. Another Green Man liquid that I got at Christchurch VapeDay, I'm going to whip back to Christchurch VapeDay now, was Mellow Morning. This is a really nice, light, fruity summer vape as well. It's nice and mellow. I'm not sure of the profile of this one to actually like give you more description. Yeah, he's got some good juices, and we don't even get half the juices here in New Zealand, like on the shelf at Hooper's where he's stocked. That is in his full range. Obviously, you can buy those other ones on the website. But Dom, Green Man e-liquids, is looking at moving over to New Zealand, so he'll be a permanent fixture, tangent attachment to Hooper's Vapor, and he will be mixing his juice in a clean room that he's getting set up, and him and Ben have got big plans going on, and it's going to be awesome. The Green Man e-liquid will be coming to New Zealand. No dates or anything released, any of that yet. It's all just beginning stages of the process of shifting countries. So we'll keep you updated on that one. But he was a really cool dude. Brandon, baby, you were a really cool dude. What an amazing week we had, Megs. What about that house we stayed in?
That house. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. That house had the most amazing views. I have to say, it's one of the most interestingly located homes I've probably ever been to. Yeah, like, I mean, it's funny because I did mention in the car on the way, like when we started going down like the private road to the house, and it's like, wow, I thought Wellington was steep.
I know that. Oh my god, it was like you had to be a billy goat or something to live on that hill permanently. I had enough for that driveway by the end of that week's stay. The house, the view, all of it beautiful. But going in and out, like leaving the house was painful. That driveway,
leaving the house, getting to the house. But I have to say, like, it was a beautiful home, and the whole house. I mean, even though I spent a shorter time there than you guys did,
I bet your knees are glad for that.
Well, the legs were over it after like the second day. I was like, you know, the first day after waking up was like, okay, tramping up and down those stairs just to get to my room was like, oh, the knees felt it. I live in a 2-story house, and I used to think that the stairs, like here in my home, were a pain in the ass. No, my stairs are a piece of piss. But yeah, after the second day, I mean, like the day of VapeDay, it was just a matter of just like, okay, my body just had to adjust. But after that, I like thought, you know what, I think I might move down a story and just go into the other room. And it's like, you know what, I actually don't mind it. The whole house stayed nice and warm, which was fantastic because I freaked out at the thought of those overnight temps. It doesn't get that cold here in Wellington. I bitch and moan when we hit like just under 10 degrees here in Wellington, and it's like we're looking at 0, -1. Ah, I'm gonna die. But the house was lovely and warm. I think the only time where I actually really felt the cold was at the end of the after party. And it's like, okay, let's go outside. You open the door and you were like, fuck that, I'm going back in the I'm going back inside. This shit is too cold. And I really wish that Jessie had parked right outside the front door. But yeah, it was like, quick, run to the car. And then it's like, once we're in the car, it's like, oh, the body's just got to get over the shock for a minute. It's like, oh, I'm good now. But yeah, it was insane. It was crazy. But yeah, I loved the house. Everything about it was just wonderful. I could imagine spending like a summer weekend or a summer week there, having those massive double doors open, like from the lounge, just looking at the view, and it was just, oh, it was amazing. It was amazing.
It was really gorgeous. To give you guys a little bit more detail, we're very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. So much appreciation and loves to Brandon for him to have gotten a holiday home where we all stayed in Christchurch for his week's duration while he was here in the country. And we were over in like the Clifton Hills, Sumner area, part of Christchurch, which is a view out over the ocean looking towards South Brighton, New Brighton area. Beautiful views, absolutely beautiful views, gorgeous house. But yeah, being up in that area of Christchurch on the cliffs, obviously we were very much down the side of a cliff, hence my comment about needing to be a billy goat to live there permanently, because we were driving down a private driveway that was very steep. Yeah, it was gorgeous. We had a wonderful week with Brandon. It was amazing to finally meet a good friend after so many years.
I didn't want to fly back. I was like, I want to stay until we all disperse at the same time. And it's like, no, I had to come back earlier. And I was like, damn responsibilities. But it was good to hang out with Brandon and actually meet him face to face rather than just video chat and things like that. It was awesome. It was good to actually see him in the flesh. He's a hard case dude and a really busy man. His phone was just non-stop. But it was good to spend some time with him.
Wanted globally very much right now.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Oh, not was, is.
Yeah, it still is. It's in high demand.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it was just so cool to actually just meet a friend, a long-term friend. It was like meeting that pen pal, except we video chat sort of thing. And having known someone from the beginning of his business, box modding business even, and then for him to switch over and have so much success with the Broadside because of its uniqueness with the Delwyn safety feature, the inner sleeve. I mean, it's not much, but it makes a big difference, and it's why it's become so popular, I believe. And then, an established brand name, obviously people trust in a brand when it works and performs for them. So the Admiral has taken off as well. And Lawrence, I'm glad you're out in chat. I forgot to leave it in Christchurch, honey. I have your inner sleeve.
Oh, here.
I have Lawrence's meat level carvings out there in chat. I have Lawrence's inner Delwyn sleeve for his Admiral, this being the 18650 adapter, and of course the Admiral's battery, a 2700. It's been an amazing week. As you guys can see, Megs and I have Broadside hats. They were a very, very rare thing because Brandon launched the Admiral 3 weeks, not even, must have been 2 weeks, right before he came to New Zealand. all of the first run of the actual Admiral stock like flew out the window. So he scrambled even to get stock to bring to New Zealand. And this goes like stock on all parts, the hats, the t-shirts, the everything. He, orders hadn't arrived in time right before he left, etc., etc. It happens to everybody in business. So he literally had like 4 hats or something that he brought with him, and Megs and I were lucky enough to get one of those each. And a handful of shirts that were the stock left on his shelf were, unfortunately, a lot of them being the really extremely stupidly large sizes at the other end of the scale for very big Americans. Not meaning to insult anybody, just a valid fact. So what we got swag wise was very limited for the public at Christchurch VapeDay, which was unfortunate. But the stock should be arriving within the next week, 10 days, as soon as Brandon gets home to the States, because he's not there yet. He's still in Australia. And just keep an eye on the website, because the swag will go up on the website when it's available. The admirals are going out in various succession across the globe, various companies, distributors, wholesalers that Brandon has contracts with. To be quite honest, the Broadside website will probably be the last to have the Admiral stock on it, because there are all these others to fulfill first. So if you don't manage to catch an Admiral pop up on one of those overseas websites, and keep an eye on all of them, all countries, UK, Russia, everywhere that has previously stocked Broadside. Vapology in Massachusetts, I saw he's stocking Admirals yesterday, actually. Good old Leon. If you don't see them popping up on those overseas sites, and you're waiting for it on the Broadside site, you might be waiting a bit long. So start searching for it if you want to get an Admiral now and you were unable to get one at Christchurch VapeDay if you're here in New Zealand. Our New Zealand stockers of Broadside products, I believe, will be getting them. I just don't know dates on that either.
The New Zealand release hasn't been confirmed as yet.
Yeah, high demand product right now. Please be patient, guys. I know everybody, when you decide you want a new shiny, that you want it now. But for this one, if you really want it, then you're either going to have to hunt for it across the globe, or just be patient, stick it out, and the site will get everything stocked up when all the pre-orders have been filled first. So unfortunately, not many, although some, but not many, got swag at VapeDay. I did see a few t-shirts go off the table. Like I say, Megs and I were lucky enough to be one of the few that got a hat each. I am aware that some murdered out style Broadside hats will be coming in the future restocking of the website.
Yeah, black on black.
Yeah, murdered out style means black embroidery on black hat. So that sort of look. If you're into that, that one is definitely keeping on the website coming up. That's a new stock order coming. And I did get, hang on, I'm gonna move. I did also get, lucky enough for there to be one of my size, a Broadside female tank as well. And it's got the nautical symbol on the back. And on both the shirts that Megs and I are wearing is the style with the mission statement on our backs.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool statement. If you don't know what it says, go to his website and read it, because it's a really cool blurb about advocacy, and it's a mission statement. It's the reason why Brandon does, and just like a shmeh of his journey, but it's the reason why Broadside exists and sort of a little bit where it came from. So yeah. Whoa, we got lots of people going on out there. Hey guys, sorry, I'm just having a wee little bit of a ramble and chat's going off out here. Hey Russ, I see you. Who else did I spy? I saw Jen. Hello, darlings. So we've got 44 South in the house. All right, okay. Megs.
Yeah.
Christchurch VapeDay. Did you have a good day, darling? All of those comps, seeing the peeps. Did you have a fabulous day?
I had an amazing day. I just wish that I had more time to actually shop. I had no time to do that. In fact, both of us didn't have time to do that. I mean, for those who had actually attended the Christchurch Vape Day, no, like Mox and I had emceed the event. There was very little sitting down time for us. We did actually have a break scheduled for us, which I was so thankful for, because that was something that we learned about with the Tauranga Vape Day. We had not scheduled any time for us to have a break when we were in Tauranga, and we were just shattered by the end of the night, because it was just go, 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 go. Like the comps would start, stop, and then in between the stop periods we were doing spot prizes, and I think I managed to duck away like really quickly, and I had a talk with Jono, and I got to catch up with a couple of friends that I had, well, a couple of family friends. They're kind of referred to as kind of like my auntie and uncle, because they've known my parents forever, and I managed to talk to them for like 5 minutes to see what they were up to and what they were thinking about the day, and what little goodies they managed to grab. So I was so pleased that there was a break put in there, and we stayed on schedule, which was fantastic. Like
No.
in the beginning we didn't.
At the beginning, and for some, I was real conscious of starting the day late. I wrangled that itinerary. You know, I got us back on time.
Yeah, you did. And I think we were lucky with a couple of the competitions. There were very minimal numbers of competitors in some of the competitions. So like the trick comps, for instance, there was very little numbers. Like the advanced trick comp, I think we only had 2 competitors. So that made it really short for that particular competition. And yeah, I mean, Mox, you had the reins like fully with a whip and everything, keeping everything on track, and so much so that we actually ended up ending the night. Was it half an hour earlier than scheduled?
Yeah, I don't know how I wrangled that, but we did.
Yeah. Which I thought was like, wow, that's an awesome achievement. It's like done and dusted. But
well,
yeah, and like Lawrence
way.
just said in the chat there, so I also played vendor for Brandon. So during the times where I was having like a little bit of downtime, Brandon would go off and he would do get like a quick food break or something, and I would kind of take care of his table for him. I think I managed to sell about 4 or 5 APPARELs for him. So and it was hilarious because the first time I went up to take over his table, it's like, okay, yeah, I got this, and it's like, I don't want to stand here just sit and wait for people to come to me. So I was literally just yelling out like I was at a market fair or something. Come and get your APPARELs.
It was so funny. It really was. APPARELs, get your APPARELs here. Bargain for the day. APPARELs in the corner.
Yeah. It's like available only today. You won't see them again, not for a while. Yeah, it was hilarious, but I was glad to help. But yeah, overall the day was fantastic. I was so glad that I got to meet up with some people that I hadn't seen since last year's Christchurch Vape Day. And then there were new faces. See, like we've got Naomi in the chat. It was the first time I'd met her, and I was so glad that she came. She was so anxious and was freaking out, and she did it. She stuck it out and made it through the entire event. So I'm so proud, so proud. So if you get a few more of these Vape Day events under your belt, they become real easy. I do have to admit that when I attended my first Vape Day, I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know what was going to happen, and then I wasn't expecting to be bombarded with people coming at me, like wanting to meet me and stuff. That threw me for 6. I didn't know what to do, and yeah, there were a lot of times that I was hunting my dad out just so that I could have my safe space. But no, yeah, it's gotten easier. It's gotten easier over the last 2 years that I've been attending these events. There is some degree of nervousness. Like, you want to ensure that the day is going to go well for everybody, especially when you're emceeing. That part still gives me the jitters.
Yep. Every time.
Yeah. And
my biggest goal for the day is that everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
Vendors and community included, you know.
Yes.
And that things obviously being fit in for the day.
So yeah, so overall I was very, very happy with how the day went. And yeah, it's, for me it's always the people. Like, I've had someone ask, and it's like, other than meeting other people, what is it about the vape days that you're looking forward to? And it's like, catching up with the vendors. It's like, do they count? Does that count? But
I
yeah,
just
it was
caught
great.
Lawrence's comment out in the chat. The looks on our faces when both Russ and him stepped out for the tank comp wearing tutus and tiaras. Now,
That was awesome.
if you didn't catch the live stream of the day, there was a private deer amongst a wee group of us in our community that they wouldn't dress up like fairies. And so the men stepped up to the deer, and both of them, I can't remember who was in what, one was wearing orange, one was wearing pink. They both had tiaras on, and they did the first round of the tank comp dressed up like little cloud fairies. So that was beautiful. And
I wish they had stayed in those tutus for the rest of the day, but no.
I do too, but they upheld the deer, and yeah, no, they didn't do the rest of the comp dressed like that, but they upheld the deer and they did that round together, like they were in a round together, so it was great. Yeah, that was really awesome to see, and there were lots of photos taken of them, and they've since been sent framed copy. So that was a way blood beautiful in-house joke that I explained to the crowd on the day what was going on, and we were having fun about it. I want to give a shout out to Jock, who is out there in chat right now, Adam Vapes. We might just pause on talking about Christchurch Vape Day for a minute, and we'll announce his global giveaway winner that we've had open, that competition open for the last 3 weeks. That was the comp that we closed at the beginning of the show. I want to give Jock a special shout out for even just being at Christchurch Vape Day. Jock's an arborist, and if you don't know what that means, it means he fells trees and trims trees, and he's that guy that climbs the tree in the big harness and gets all the scary, huge trees, and he does that for a living. Anyway, he fell out of a tree literally a few days right before Vape Day and was in A&E and has several fractures and isn't in the 100% health he normally is when he's climbing such trees. So it was awesome that he was able to even attend and be in Christchurch. That's a 6-hour drive away for him to come down there. So it was awesome that he could attend, be there, let alone still run his stall and his normal participation of the day. So big loves to you. Big loves to you. I'm going to do some more vendor shout outs and loves to those that were part of our day as well. But we will pause on Christchurch Vape Day and we'll do this global giveaway, hey, this winner. So to recap, it's been a spread out little competition, this one, because we did Jock's juice tasting of his entire juice line in 2 parts. And we did those 2 parts either side of our 1-year anniversary show of Billion Lives. So that's why the comp ran over 3 weeks. So part 1 was the video where the entries went onto, and the I say global giveaway because it's open to all of you out there, all of our viewers across the globe, wherever you may be. And the winner will receive, do believe that I have this right, please correct me if I'm wrong, Jock singers are out there, but I do believe that the winner is receiving 50 mils of the entire juice line. So that's all 10 flavours. So that's 500 mils of juice coming to you. That's amazing. That's an awesome prize. That's like way cool.
It is.
So that I don't mess up our awesome little layout screening with screen sharing and stuff, we just like to hope that you guys trust us in the YouTube random picker website that I use. And I put the URL of that competition video into the thing where it says put the URL and it randomly picks a comment, those entries of that video. So I'm going to just load that up right now. And how many peeps have got hanging? Oh, hey, I forgot to go, hey to the lookers.
Oh, yes. We did that little brief shout out thing and then just went straight into it. What's up, lookers?
I did it just then because I do see a few of you, the numbers lurking out there. And actually, I did see a couple other people I didn't say hey to when they strolled in. What's up and big loves out there to Tommy, watching us over in the US. Of course, that big loves to Jock, who strolled in just before. I seen somebody else. Oh, all clouded up in the house and very vocal vapors. What up, guys?
It's Christine.
Christine?
Yeah.
Hi, Christine. I don't know people
Beauty.
when they use screen names like that.
It's Beauty.
On a different account?
Yeah, the very vocal vapors. Remember?
Is that your vaping voice account, Beauty? Because that's what her other program thing is. It's Vapor. Oh, Vapor's voice. Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, getting sidetracked. All right, guys, you want to do a drum roll, Megan?
You got a minute. How many entries do we have?
Okay, this thing has loaded 18 comments. So just before I say the name, I obviously read it to confirm that their entry is correct. And those correct entry comments were a hashtag AtomVapesNZ and then your location. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, give us a drum roll, down.
That was like the
yeah. And the winner is one of our very own here in New Zealand, Miss Janine Healy. Mwah. How you doing, darling?
Congratulations.
Janine's also one of our NZ dolls as well. So, oh my God, congrats. That's an awesome prize, hun. And could you please message me over on our Facebook page and I will get your details sent off to Jock at Adam Vapes and you will have an amazing prize pack coming at you because yum. Wow, congratulations, honey. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Oh, okay, there's your winner, Jock. You can safely go and get your kids out of the shower now. I'm kidding. He's got kids, family life, all that jazz, and he just had a minute or three to hang out and chat. So that's why I just thought I'd put a pause on our wee Chch VapeDay chat and do that right then because Jock was able to hang out. So there is your winner, darling. Oh, and another pause. On our week with Brandon, it's a sideline pause. On our week with Brandon, he went away with a piece of New Zealand. He got a, not traditional, but he got a custom freestyled tamoko, which is a Māori design tattoo, a Māori styled tattoo. I say not traditional because it was freestyled around Brandon and his journey and his personality. So freestyled on him in a Māori style. And I got one while I was there because I took him to see a cousin of mine and we're linked through one of my iwi. And yeah, I got some new ink too.
Woohoo! That looks so cool.
I'm falling off the screen. Oh, now I'm whiting out. So yeah, it's sort of like the beginning of my gauntlet. Oh, bless. So yeah, we had awesomeness going on at Chch VapeDay. Sorry, just catching on what's going on up there in chat. We had amazing competitions, amazing vendors, amazing stalls and specials and deals for the day, amazing prizes. Wow, the generosity. It was just wonderful.
It was insane. Even for just the spot prizes.
Yeah, I'm going to try and pull out my list.
Yes, I want to give a few shout outs. Pull out the list. Because I know that if I were to try and rattle off vendor names off the top of my head, I will literally be trying to revisualize the room and where all the vendors were sitting.
That's literally how I did it earlier.
Funny.
Hang on. Oh, bless. I'm going to have to open Facebook because the list is compiled between me and Mandy and Facebook. Oh, it's going to be... don't message me right now, please. Please don't. Because it'll come up in the recording. I have to open a message. Apologies. So I'll do a shout out. Actually, we'll do this in a way. We'll do this randomly. Because I want to give shout outs to the winners too. The winners, you know, unless you were there on the day, you don't quite hear who won what. You know, suddenly someone pops up with a trophy and a picture, but they say thanks. Did they elaborate what they won? Did somebody see that video? You know, like I want to give shout outs to those guys because sometimes they're just shy and they hide in the background and okay, now I'm gonna try and I don't have some of the lists from the day, so apologies for that right now because I left them with Mandy. They were in her book, so they're still in Christchurch. Right, I have both lists in front of me now. I'm gonna go vendors because I'm just gonna bang you out in a big list because there's a lot of yous, and I want you to feel the love, feel the kudos. We appreciate you all so much. Our community wouldn't be here without you, and you know, just as much as you're part of our community, you know, like it's such a we wouldn't be here without you, you wouldn't be here without me, you know, it's one of those relationships. So we're a community, and even though you guys are the vendors and hey, that guy gives me a good deal or I can get good juice over that guy, you're all just people in our community that we all hang out with as well. And we all deserve a bit of a holler every now and again. So I'm going to give you a bit of a holler. Bit of a holler. Hang on. Can I do it? Bit of one of these. Some loves. There we go. I got it. It's on my face. Love's on my face. There we go. Hang on.
I've got a circle in mine because I'm holding on to my Admiral.
All right. Big loves going out to 44 South E-Liquids. Jen and Russ out there in the chat. Vape Force E-Liquids. We've got Shawnee out in the chat. Big loves to you. Adam Vapes, Mr. Jock. I'm going to give you all a kiss. We have, who else was there? Joe's Cloud House. Love you guys. Both Joe and Blair came up for that one. Edge's Bar in the house. These is everybody who was in the house for Christchurch VapeDay. Mr. Cloudies, who's Big Jack, just released his new juice line. Loves to you, big fella. HB Vapor. I love you guys who travel the distance to every event and yeah, always love seeing you guys every year. Well, not every year in Christchurch, every event, darlings. Big loves to you guys. Who else do we have there? We had Shelley's E-Liquid in the house. Try Dan's new range, Sunstone. Yes, I believe I had that right. Sunstone. Shelley's E-Liquid, it's his new sub-line range of juices and what have you. Really good. Well, it smelled really good. I didn't get to try some, but they smelled amazing. Who else do we have there? Hang on, I'm going to say this right. Seduce. I was saying it wrong for so long. I was just calling them SE juice. I found out on the Saturday at Christchurch VapeDay, you say seduce.
I thought it was so clever.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't see it. Yeah, the juice seduces you. You guys have some awesome, cool little blue bottles going on. So big loves out to you guys. Thanks for coming along. Vape Crew came down from Wellington. Big ups, big ups. It was awesome seeing all of you guys.
I think there were a number of them, like from like the different B&Ms. I don't know exactly which one had come down for the stall, but there were.
I believe
there was Wellington. A mixture of Wellington and I think some of like is it where else are they located? Auckland and Hamilton, is that correct? Yeah, so I think there must have been like
a couple of others, and I didn't realise. But big loves to you guys anyway. Thank you for making the trip, because that's a North Island trip, no matter which shop you came from. So all big loves out to you guys. We had Lost Cities e-liquids in the house, also known as Grand Vapor Co. That is Mr. Rob, Mr. Potato Head. He was hanging out alongside Mr. Sugi, sorry, I always say your name wrong, darling. 561 Juices. They were chilling in the corner over beside Hoopers. Hoopers, of course, was hanging out with Mr. Dom Greenman. So, mwah, 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 to all of you guys out there hanging in the corner. I say in the corner because I've got that visual of the layout in my head, and we've just gone around the corner in the room, and we're heading across to the Vaporium crew.
Yeah, because there were 3 of them on the pool table that was covered with a board.
Big loves out there to the Vaporium crew as well. Mwah. So, and of course, Megs won a spot prize from Vaporium.
I got an 8-bay battery charger and 8 BTC4s. What a spot prize! Holy shit!
That's a way cool prize. And then, of course, we had our beautiful Brandon of Broadside Mods was in the corner by Vaporium as well, selling his Admirals, and where we were all chilling out when we weren't on the mic. And then, of course, we're going to give some loves out to those vendors who sent us prizes down and were unable to make the trip. And we have big loves out there to Mist NZ. Mwah. Big loves to Johnny at Irresistible E-Liquids. Mwah. And to Troy Dunedin at Omega E-Liquids. Big loves to every vendor. Oh, I have forgotten one. I've forgotten 2. But I didn't forget you because the show's still going. So, I'm still live. So, the remembers were big loves out there to Lawrence for our trophies. Oh my God, bro. Once again, you know, knocked it out of the park when your health isn't the best, and obviously you have a full-time job, you have a whānau, and you give your time and your love into making your koha for Christchurch VapeDay and our community by making those trophies for us. So if you guys aren't aware or haven't seen one, mine's sort of twice the size, but the Christchurch VapeDay trophies are just like a nice wee little 6-piece Addy stand type styles, and obviously says it's a trophy from Christchurch VapeDay. Love you, Lawrence. Love you. Always a blessing when you give your love to the community. And same out there for loves, to Bronson for giving us a whole pile of 3D printed Addy stands that we gave out as spot prizes as well. It's sort of similar comments that go along with Lawrence, you know, your time, your energy, your love for the community, and giving away your work for free as well. So big loves to all of you. And of course, those weren't just, sorry, I'm looking up at the list. I'm gonna shut that now. Facebook's gone, right. I can see chat again. The vendors that I just read out weren't just stalls there on the day. Of course, they were supplying prizes, and we had prizes for all those comps, and we had prizes for spot prizes for the community based off your ticket number when you walked in. And yeah, everyone who gave time, love, energy to put our event together, myself and Megan included, like, holler at you all. Mwah. Everybody deserves the love because it was an amazing day. It really was. Oh, I'm just going to take a breath for a minute and have a vape mix.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, I see Greg out in chat. What up, darling? Hey, Greggy. Hanging out from Canada. And Rachel just strolled in. Hey, Daisy.
Oh, and Paul.
And Paul?
Yep, Labworks Vapes.
Oh, Paul, I can't see. There you are. Hey, Paul. How you doing, honey? It's been a while.
Oh, yes, so there was also Brendan. Brendan also supplied some 3D printed battery cases.
Yes, my apologies. You are not wrong. Big loves out there to Brandon as well. Sorry, Brendan, I believe that one said. Mwah. Brendan, because I won one. I have one of your 3D printed battery cases. These are fabulous. I actually have a bat in it currently. Hang on, I'll take that out. It's got little magnets. They're magnetized. Fabulous wee case.
Yeah, that's a nice little touch, that.
Yeah, and they're slick. They feel nice. Brendan, love your work, darling. Yes, Yeti, the same Brendan. I can't believe okay, no, nobody has been forgotten because we're still live, so names can still be thrown out. I do believe that is everybody now, though, unless somebody randomly leaps in my head. Oh, extra big loves out there to Jock. I got a fidget spinner. And hang on.
Yeah, did you
I've
get that
got a
other
bung
one with you?
I've got a bung one. I have to hold it for it to go. It doesn't work otherwise. But hey, I got a thing, guys. I'm still working out how to use it. It'll look cool in the dark in the middle of one of my festivals. Anyway, thanks, Jock. This is fun. Go off. And it's got like different sequences for the lights and stuff. They're quite cool. Who else is hanging? Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, you know, I was having a break from my face. Do you want to say thank you to
all the talking?
Because I got to do the winners next.
You've done them all. You've thanked all the vendors. I suppose the only thing that I can think of is to thank everyone who came. Whether you were close, like you lived in Christchurch, or if you travelled from outside of Christchurch to come to the Christchurch VapeDay. Yeah, it was awesome to see all the people like coming, congregate together to have an amazing day. It was great.
Sorry. It was great seeing the community. I'm just going to like pause for a minute before I give shout outs to the winners and tell everybody how the comps all rolled. I'm just going to try and actually get some of this work in my Admiral. I hope everybody had a good time. If you have feedback of something you'd like to see, a suggestion of some way you think we can improve the day, keeping in mind, of course, we do have a lot of people to wrangle when we do days like this. And I'm thinking of, you know, obviously getting confirmations from busy people about things is often a difficult task. We do have a lot of competitions and things to consider when we do different comps. Like a perfect example. So every year, every event across New Zealand for the last couple of years has done a show and shine competition. And over the duration of the growth of New Zealand's community, in the subculture levels of the community, obviously this is a really broad competition. This is a really broad name on a comp, and even the specs for the comp are still very broad. So, and we recognise this. And so for the first time at an event in New Zealand this year, first time ever, sorry, we split the show and shine up into two different categories, and there was actually a first and a second placer in both categories. And those categories being show and shine for the modders, so a modder category for those of you who are box modders, make your own boxes, people who have progressed in starting out just tinkering to somebody who is now opening a business. So there's the modder category, and then there's the customization category, which is sort of initially where the competition was aimed at in the beginning. You know, a newbie, somebody who doesn't have an amazing advanced setup or something very flashy, very expensive, but they put a sticker on it or a vape charm and they've made that mod their own and some sort of customization. That was where the comp initially started out with and has grown in all directions since then. So this remains a category, customization, so that anybody is eligible. And of course, that can range from exactly what I just said. You know, you could put a sticker on your mod and personalized it, you've customized it, right through to you've done a custom patina on a meat mod, you know, like they're really broad, but it's nice to be able to include all sorts. You know, you don't have to be a modder or you don't have to be an advanced mech user or someone to enter that comp. You could just have a really cool sticker on the side of it, and it could be a cuboid or an Evic Mini or something. You know, I'm just throwing things out there. But there's a perfect example of definitely how one of our competitions has grown and now has a couple of different categories within that one comp as well. So that was I picked on that one because it's I happen to be looking at it on my list. It's the first comp that we did on the day, and it was really cool seeing growth in the Christchurch community for the entrants from those that entered last year. That was really cool. It was really, really cool.
I also just noticed like a mention in chat that we can't forget to thank Jamesy.
Oh, we can't.
James Thompson. He helped make the live stream possible. We had our little hiccups. Like there was like a couple of issues with audio, and then there was like an issue with the mic, which got hilarious as the day went on. If you hadn't caught the live stream, every now and again the mic would cut out just as Mox was trying to say something, and she'd get frustrated, so she would make a noise that always reminded me of that scene from Bruce Almighty where Stephen Carell is trying to read off the teleprompter and what's his name? And things making him go blah, 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 blah. And that's what Mox was doing in the microphone, and every now and again you would catch her going blah, 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 through the microphone. It was hilarious.
She's actually not exaggerating. It really was a bit like that. And the first time I was telling my flatmate about it earlier, actually, and the first time that it happened during the day, I was just and someone in the crowd from behind me was Mano. It was hilarious. It was great, and it was really cool. It was a continuing, just like we say every day, every show rather, and cross fingers for today, actually, just side note, because there's a storm going on outside, so internet's going good so far, but it ain't the Ohm Kiwis without some sort of tech difficulties, and that was ours for Saturday, for the mic. There was a broken wire somewhere along the cable, and when the cable moved, it was cutting in and out, so it was getting a little frustrated, and at some points I was just like yelling because I was like, I can't be bothered with the mic. And I'm glad it became, or stayed rather, an amusing point of, you know, it didn't get annoying. Nobody got really shitty with it. And believe me, if there was anybody and it was going to be at that point, it was me because I was talking.
You were getting quite frustrated with it. I was waiting for you to just throw it on the floor. It's like, stupid microphone.
I could not, because that microphone itself, just the mic piece, was $1,500. So I wouldn't have been doing that, honey.
Okay. Well, maybe you might have unplugged the cable and just thrown the cable. And it was like, stupid cable.
It was really amusing. I did get frustrated at a couple of points, but like I say, I'm glad it stayed an amusing point of the day. And like there were parts where I'd just be like, okay, I'm not even start talking until I know the mic's working. So it's just like testing, la 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 la, and I just like bust out some Smurfs or something, and yep, sweet, mic's working. Oh, got your attention. All right, guys, next comp's coming up. Yeah, it was really funny. And then, you know, like the second I'd start talking and then it'd move and the mic would cut again. And yeah, that live stream must have been hilarious, like actual.
Although I have to say, like, right at the very beginning, like, because I did the intro, and because I was used to, like, you know, when we had tested out the mics for Tauranga, it's like, okay, yeah, it's like, did like the sound check, it's like, okay, so you got to hold the microphone relatively close to the mouth. And then it's like, okay, Megan, you can do your little intro spiel. And I put the mic quite close to my mouth, and I was like, can you hear me? And it came out so loud. I was like, oh, I am so sorry. I just screamed in y'all ears.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
It was oh. Like you said, it wouldn't be the Ohm Kiwis if there was no technical difficulties. But yeah, it was awesome.
It wasn't one we could actually fix either. So it was
Yeah.
there was another mic cable there that was like shorter by 2 meters, and I wouldn't have been able to move out of the way of the competitions or have the movement on the floor that I did with that existing mic. So it just was what it was, and it was part of the day.
Yeah, but James did awesome as always. Like he did like a really good job in Tauranga, and he did a fantastic job in Christchurch. The little audio glitches in the beginning, I think for like the tank comp was kind of funny, and it's like, yeah, roll the cloud comp track, and then something else would come through and it would stop abruptly. It was like, what are you doing, James? He's like, it's playing the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I found out what was going on there. It was doing exactly that. It was playing the wrong playlist. So every time it was like catching it, it was almost in that same point that it sounded like it was stopping on its own. It was like, oh my God, it's that track again. And James would catch it and it's like, okay, right audio now.
And then when he did get it right, it's like the competitors weren't ready for it.
Yeah, that's all right. I hope that those who did compete felt that everything was fair when we did re-roll things, or you know, those little bits and pieces where they obviously weren't ready when a technical point like that happened. I hope everybody felt that, or please speak up if you felt some way we could have done things better, different. Another perspective around the competitions. You know, there's always room for improvement in everything. So yeah, it'd be cool to get feedback on stuff like that. So
what I'd like to see is like a female class. You know,
yeah,
split up the sexes. Because I think that would encourage more females to participate.
I did catch it out there, but there would have to be two. You could either just have like a newbie class and an advanced class, or you'd have to specify it for tank users and meat users, like, you know, because there are a range of females across the subcultures too. So
yeah, that's true.
I think there would maybe need to be two, but it's definitely something we could look into, because you're not wrong. A lot of the females are really intimidated of getting out there in front of the crowd, let alone in front of the big boys who blow huge clouds like Jack. Oh my God.
Then there's me that goes up with my really poor setup at the time for the open class. That was hilarious. It was like, I don't have a cloud build. It's like a 0.2 and I can only hit it at like 75 watts max.
Yeah, that's right. That was really funny. So, just on the James note, for all of those who are waiting for videos from Christchurch VapeDay, they will be available soon. James is going to edit the live stream recording from the day, so like 7-8 hours of the entire day worth of recording, and he's going to cut it up into the individual competitions so that you can go and watch that comp that you entered, or you just look for a certain part of the day or what have you. They will be up soon. We don't have an exact yet. I'd like to say next week, but James actually came home to one of his family members really ill after he got home from Christchurch. So he's just dealing with a bit of family stuff. And as we all know, family comes first. So please just be patient until he feels he's in a space where he can just bang those out. And we will, so as not to get pulled by Facebook and YouTube, when those videos are ready, we're going to open up one of the pages, publish, make live, whatever the right wording is, one of the pages on my website, which it hasn't officially actually launched yet. But we'll open it up and have the day's videos, the events videos up for the public to view. And all future events will go up in a similar style on my website so that they're separate of platforms like this who pull you for copyright because of the background music and things like that. So that's always annoying when they do that. They've done that to us several times on Facebook now. And they did it with a couple of our videos from Tauranga as well. So this is why we're going about this avenue. I'd like to just go, yeah, we'll bang up a playlist on YouTube here on my channel, but YouTube's actually likely to pull some of them because of the music. So, you know, we'll let you know. So please bear with if you're hanging out to see the day's events that we're rambling about. There is a replay link or video, I should say, running on our live stream link from the day. Oh my God, I'm getting tongue-tied. On that live stream link that we had for the day, there we go. There is a video up there, a replay of the entire day recording. So it's up there like a YouTube video where you can scroll along through the day and find bits and pieces. So you can view it right now. It's just not cut up. It's just one big long movie. So you can go check that out if you want. What's going on out in chat there, Megs?
I was just replying to one regarding like someone wanting to enter the next enter a cloud comp at the next event in the North Island. I was just explaining that the next North Island event will be in Auckland, which will be in October. So I was just mentioning that, and then I was just trying to sort of do like a wee little catch up. But yeah, there's just a lot of feedback regarding the mic stuff. But yeah,
the mic really was hilarious. Right, my APPAREL has worked. I'm gonna go through some winners' names now.
From the competitions.
Just gotta get my airflow right. Sorry, my airflow.
They said that the first comp was the show and shine, and like you explained before regarding the two different categories. Just try and.
Now, apologies, I have not written down what they entered with. Oh, excuse me. For the show and shine or the coil build, actually. I do. Oh, hang on. I'll rephrase that. I don't have it written down on this list. However, I have all of the comp registration lists over here on my clipboard. So should you guys go, oi, what did he win with? Blah, blah, blah. I can answer that off those sheets. But yeah, show and shine was up first. And show and shine was judged by Joe and Blair, Joe's Cloud House, and Mr. Brandon. Mr. Brandon and Broadside Mods. Yeah, we thought that would be awesome, being that he's a box modder, for him to suss out what some Kiwis can get up to with some skills.
It's funny because he wanted to enter in one of his broadsides that had been so lovingly carved on the outside of it. It was a gorgeous piece.
Can you see that?
That button though.
My prototype button from my broadside is on my APPAREL.
This cheeky vape.
I know, right? Anyway, big loves and shout outs going to Mr. Jonas of Legit Mods, who, of course, both me and Megs rep our hustlers. He won first place in the modding category for, of course, one of his hustlers. Jonas, your work has come a long way since last year's Vape Day. And I love my hustler. Like, it's a daily. It really has become a daily. And that was a well-deserved win. I really am getting tongue-tied. And yeah, and I saw you and Brandon having good chats later on, and Brandon really liked your work as well. So that was really cool. So well-deserved win for the modding category. And of course, second place for that category was our awesome Lawrence out there in chat, Mr. Meat Level Carvings, who I believe is trying to listen to us while he's at work at the minute. So Lawrence, yeah, he had an awesome customized mod, I guess. He had a wooden mod that he had made and customized the outside with one of his carvings. I believe it was a mech. So yeah, gorgeous, well-deserved wins to both you. So that was Jonas. I'm not even try to say your last name, honey.
I wouldn't try either. I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah. Well, I just think of somebody famous who has a similar last name, and I'd say that, and I just don't know that that's right. So anyway, big loves to Jonas. Legit mods for first place in Show and Shine modding category or modder category, and second place to Lawrence. So love to you guys. Well deserved one. Well deserved. And then in our second category for the Show and Shine, the customization, we had first place was Nathan, Mr. Toady. He's known as Toad in our community, and he was also there repping Avca as well. So we had advocacy. Oh my god, the mouth in the house. Advocacy was in the house. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, that was really awesome. When customization from Toad as well. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was patina on a switch mod, I believe, a stack switch mod. Ooh, I hope I've got that right. I saw so many mods. I apologize if I did say that wrong, Toad, but Toad got first place in that category nonetheless, and second place went to Jack, who had done a custom patina on a noisy cricket, and that was actually really cool. It was like a dark blood red and swirly. It was like a what do they call it? It was an ink patina.
The ink patina.
It was gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah, Lawrence is in the factory at work. He can't hear us over the machinery. But yes, darling, loves for you and your wins. Yeah, wins. It was a great day had by all. I think it was a fabulous day. So yeah, Toady and Jack first and second in the customization of Show and Shine, and then so my little book that I'm reading out of is in order of the comps that we actually, in the order that we had them on the day.
So the next one was the tank.
Brain's tired. So yeah, next up was tank. So tank comp, yeah, the tank cloud comp. So tank was judged by Sugi 561 and Michael Brader of HB Vapor and Dan of Vape Crew. And we had out there in chat, Mr. Lawrence got first place. I really wish he'd won that first place while he was still wearing that tutu. I really wish he had. And second place was Cameron Brewster, who big shout outs to Cam actually, who put in the effort and the coin spent out of his own pocket, obviously, to also do the journey down from the North Island, and he flew down from Tauranga. So that was awesome that he got a second place. Whoop, whoop. So big loves going out to all the winners of the day. Next up was, can you remember?
The which?
I said, can you remember what the next comp was?
The next comp.
I know what it is. Yeah. The days are blur to you, isn't it?
Almost. I was trying. It's not the coil build comp, is it?
No. It was the O comp. Was up next.
Oh, the O comp. Yes. it's funny. I had a few people asking if I was going to enter it, and it's like, no, I entered it last year, and I took it out then, and it's like, I suppose I could have entered to try and sort of reign supreme, I guess. But I
to reign supreme. If you wanted to reign supreme, you should have entered the core build comp.
no, I'm getting sick and tired of coming second in that damn thing. That's why I stopped and just decided to know, just judge them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't realize that there was going to be so few builds. But we'll get to that when we get to that particular competition. So yeah, so we had the O comp.
Yeah, and we had Naomi and Mandy and Maya judge the O comp. And I believe, hang on, just check the next page. Yeah, the girls also judged advanced tricks as well. So we had reigning resident country champion. Yeah, I feel okay in stating that title, even though I'm not sure he's been labelled that yet. But he took it out in Tauranga and he took it out in Christchurch. So yeah, I feel confident saying that. The reigning country champion for tricks, Tim took it out for the O's.
Did he take out like the advanced comp in Auckland last year? I can't remember who won that one.
In Auckland last year?
Yeah, because he was there.
No, I believe it was one of the Filipino boys.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the fusion crowd.
Yeah,
Because
so,
I judged a lot of comps last year in Auckland.
yeah.
So yeah, Tim took it out first place, followed by a close second with Mr. Brett Nixon. And then so on to the advanced tricks. Again, the girls were the judges, and Tim took first place, followed by a close second with Mr. Cam Odinson, who was last year's advanced tricks winner.
Yeah.
Right.
Cam was hella nervous throughout his set, and you could see it. And it's like, oh no, poor dude. Poor guy was shaking like a leaf.
I'm not surprised though. I can't bang out a jellyfish. I think I'd be nervous like that just banging out O's. So I give full props to Cam because he was just as nervous last year and he took out that comp and he was going up against Tim. So hell yeah, total props to Cam. He got up there and did it, let alone took place, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So next up for the day was the coil build comp, which Megs and Dom, Mr. Greenman E-Juice, and Mr. Brett Nixon were the judges.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you talk about the coil build comp, darling.
Yes, we had three builds that were entered into the build comp, and the winning coil build was Terry. Terry's multi-core staggered fuse Clapton. It was such a clean build, really clean. Like I examined that particular build so thoroughly. Like I even took out my phone and sort of did a couple of macro shots of it and zoomed in and everything on the screen just to look at everything. All of the cores and the staggered Claptons on those cores was just lined up so perfectly. There was no faulting it. He put a lot of time and effort into making that build as clean as possible, and it was apparent, I guess, from the get-go once you examined all of the builds that one was the one that was going to win. It was funny because Dom was saying, said, no, yeah, that's definitely a clear winner. He goes, what I want to do is like to have this competition hurry up and wrap up so he can wick it, and I want to vape on it.
I want to vape on it.
Yes, that was his thing. Is he goes, I'm so impressed with it. I want to have a jam on it. And so Terry took out that competition. I was thoroughly impressed with it. Staggered Fuse Claptons, it's like they're when you're dealing with multiple cores, it becomes quite challenging to keep those cores in line and wrap them really, really tightly. And that's what he did with this particular build. It was insane. I've done multi-core staggered fuse claptons before, but I've only done 3. And I think just from memory, he might have done 5 or 6 cores. I'd have to find my phone just to try and see if I
can't.
I can't. I've misplaced my phone. I can't. I don't want to say like it was definitely 6 because yeah, unless I actually see that image again, I can't remember. But yeah, I was very impressed with it. It was very clean and definitely well deserved. So that was fun. I like judging the build comps.
Far beyond anything I could ever do. Next comp was the Met comp. Wow, didn't everybody go wild for that Met comp?
I know. It's always insane because for the past few vape days that we've had throughout the country, Vaporium have always supplied the first place winning prize, and the prize is always so impressive. It's all this year's one was a timekeeper, stainless steel timekeeper, VTC 4 batteries, and this gorgeous wooden case.
It's beautiful. It's like a vaping toolbox.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and like with like the liftable bits so that you can store stuff underneath it, and oh my god, it was crazy. I think that's the second or possibly third time that they've supplied that kind of box with the first place prize, because they did that in Tauranga last year as well. And when was the next one? Oh, I think they tried to supply that for the Wellington one, but the weather went potato, so the competition didn't go through. For those that don't know, we ended up having our Wellington Vape Day outdoors. We have a very hard time trying to find a venue here in Wellington that will allow vaping inside. So yeah, it became an outdoor event compared to the year before, which was an indoor event. But yeah, it was painful. It was so painful. It rained.
Nick just said it was 6 cores out in chat.
Oh, cool.
Janine! Oh, please, sorry, I'm going to just jump in here. Janine, darling, you've just joined us. Big loves. Congratulations. You won Adam Vapes giveaway. You won Jock's giveaway of the entire juice line of all of those tastings you've been watching us do, darling. You won it. We drew that a little while back. So if you want to see your name, well, us announce your name because I didn't screen share. But if you want to see us announce your name, darling, it's a little bit back in the video, but you're our winner. So message me on the Facebook page, honey. So awesome that you managed to just randomly jump in. And I just had another name just pop out randomly out there. What's up out there? Church, hanging out from the USA. I only just got the notification, darling. We're just about through. Not quite. We're not quite done just yet, guys. Anyway, we'll get on with it. Big love's going out there to chat for everybody still hanging because you know we like to ramble. You know I like to ramble. So the Met comp where the judges were Cam Odinson, Nick, who's hanging out there, Mr. Elmo, and we had Jamal from the Vaporium crew. They were the judges for the Met comp. And first place, big congrats to Big Jack, Mr. Cloudy. And it's really awesome that his little nickname with you, Megs, Mr. and Mrs. Cloudy, the thing you guys got going on, that new juice line is named Mr. Cloudy's. I really like that. So congrats to Jack. And second place was Mr. Gareth Eagle as well, who is newly become a mod over at Vape Fan with us too. So congrats out to you both. It was a tough comp. Jack was giving everybody a run for their money.
Yeah.
Total one run for their money. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, just catching Janine's comments out there in chat. All right. The last comp of the day was, of course, the biggest one, and we do it last so that people do hang out till the end of the day because we know it's the one everybody wants to enter, and often it's just as big as the Met comp, really, and that's the open comp, where as long as you are entering with build to battery ratio and everything's all safe to whatever your setup is that you're entering with. And of course, we have a safety guy who checks all of everything for every comp that is needed. Yeah, the open comp. Wow, was there an entrant list? Like, I had a full A4 sheet of paper full of names. There was a long comp, but my God, was it a close one? So many competitors came so close. But
Yes.
big congrats out there to young Daniel, who kicked Jack's ass and took out first place, and Jack got second. Whoop whoop to the youngins. Now, Daniel hasn't been vaping terribly long, a little while, but you know, by comparison to Jack, bugger all, and when you do it comparatively like that, Jack is. Honey, how tall are you? I'm not. He's not out in chat, but he must be like 6'6". Like Jack's a tall man.
He's tall.
Big Texan. Daniel, however, is not a short man either. He mustn't be far off Jack. Daniel, you're pretty damn tall, but you're a skinny beanpole. You're like third. Yeah. So like, all I was imagining was like your lung size capacity compared to Jack. Damn, did you take it out, boy? Woo! Switch! Yeah, the judges couldn't decide. It was really close, and it was, oh, do you want to switch? Yeah, it was hilarious. We had a great day. Right, that's all the winners, guys. That's the big list. Yeah, I think we have gone on about the day enough, and apologies if we've created more FOMO for those of you that couldn't have been there. It was fabulous, and I hope you come next year, guys. I can't promise a big, amazing international guest for every event. You know, it was complete fluke that a friend of mine happened to go, well, I do need a holiday, and I can come over. You know, it does work for my schedule, and I can pay for it. Like, amazing and complete fluke, and all universes. Like, I just know the people. That was all the universe that made it happen. So much loves to both Brandon and Dom for making that journey to come and join us. It was an amazing day all around. Community, yeah, come and join us at the next one. Come and hang, come say hi. We don't bite. Okay. VapeDay recap done. Mix, what did you think about that little vaping segment that was on TV on Sunday night?
I thought it was very good, and at the same time, it was there was a heartbreaking moment in it. I really felt for Rebecca, and I can understand now why she does what she does.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Rebecca runs Vape to Save, and she does an amazing job at trying to get people to switch or convert from cigarettes to vaping. I didn't realise the background behind it. The first time I believe I met Rebecca, it was at last year's Christchurch VapeDay. And she brought down one of her converts, which also appeared on the on that news segment. And yeah, it was so good meeting the both of them in person last year, and to see the news segment sort of go on Sunday, the news show Sunday. we didn't catch it when they broadcasted it on TV, so we had to watch, the on-demand copy of it. And yeah, I thought it was really well done. They got to speak to Mariwa Glover, who also did her spiel as to what her background thing is about, and there was a bit in there that kind of made me laugh when they were talking about nicotine. And the reporter turned around and said, so you basically had lied to the public. And I was like, how could you do that? And yeah, they had like a little bit of a giggle about that, about the nicotine part, with it being not the part that is, I guess, like the killer. Is that the right way to kind of word it? Probably not. Or it's not the harmful. It's not the harmful chemical that's in cigarettes. And because she basically had stated what a lot of people are saying is that nicotine is essentially like a stimulant like coffee. And it's like, okay. And yeah, it was quite well done. And then they also covered the bit regarding Philip Morris trying to release their product. I can't. Do you remember the name of it?
It was IQOS. I'm not quite sure how you say it. IQOS is the product name that they've put out.
Yeah, the IQOS or something like that. It's a heat, not burn, but it's still a tobacco product.
Okay, I just want to elaborate a little bit more for the viewers. So
Yes.
here in New Zealand, on Sunday that has just gone, so it'll actually be a week tomorrow, there was, like Meg said, we have a news article type program, like a 2020 or a 60-minute, one of them type programs, news reporting, but not the news. So a show like that did a segment on vaping, being that we've been in the news a lot lately. Our legislation is going to change at the after the next election. All of these things we're actively being talked about here in New Zealand. So the media, I guess, decided to put a little bit more of a light onto it and contact real information, informative sources, I should say, and get real information. So yeah, talking to Mariwa, talking to Rebecca, talking to Dr. Murray Winiata, who is one of our community members and a GP in Auckland who is an open vapor as a doctor. Covering the here in New Zealand, the tobacco company Philip Morris, they did a attempt at research around vaping and heat not burn products that they wanted to put out and what have you. But technically, their research was rejected because, for want of better words, I'm just going to say it blatant Kiwi language. For want of better words, their research was racist, and
Yes.
it's really weird to say that for me because they focused on the Māori and the Pacifica and the Polynesian here in New Zealand, which both me and Megan fall into. However, it didn't cover European and everybody else who's in the country too, so in that angle, the research was racist because they focused on our minority demographic, which is obviously unclear and untrue because they're not balanced statistics. So the research was thrown out the window. However, the product has still come out. And
they tried to. Didn't the Ministry of Health?
The research was rejected, but the product is still available.
I thought the Ministry of Health had pressed charges or something against them for importing that product into New Zealand because it was illegal.
I may have missed that bit. I may have briefly gone out of the room. I could have missed that bit easily. But bottom line is this news segment showed positiveness on about the vaping, covered the Royal Physicians research with the 95% safer alternative and that angle of information. Like I say, talk to our doctors. Miriwa was great actually talking to her because she is, I can't speak for everybody in the advocacy circles or those in the activism circles of our community even, but for me, she is the resource at the top of the chain to connect to those, what's the right way to say it? Official pathways to get things changed, to find out how to word things that we need to do right. Miriwa's been in the stop smoking game for the last 27 years in the tobacco industry here in New Zealand, and is one of the chairpersons, or is the chairperson of Stop Smoking NZ here in New Zealand. So the fact that this has been her life for the last 27 years, trying to make New Zealand and our people better, healthier. It's always wonderful when I hear that she's been in another interview on Radio Live or in another news article, because for me she's an amazing resource on this topic, on our fight, that voice for our fight. In our description below is the URL for this vaping segment that we're talking about. It's called Under a Cloud, which is, I've got it written in the title for today's show. It's about 15, 16 minutes long, so it's not too long. Just covers some basics. It's basically for those at home who, we walk past on the street and go, "Ooh, those clouds," or they're the people that do the fake cough, even though it doesn't actually smell gross, but they're making a point. It's sort of like information for those at home or those who are still going, I don't know about vaping. It wasn't necessarily a pro-vaping article, I don't feel. It was just an informative one, and you make your own decision from there. That's my opinion on it. I don't know. How do you feel about that view, Megs?
Yeah. It was definitely more of an informative article, which is what I was glad that they did, rather than look at the negatives, which is usually what the media does. They usually try to put a spin on what Aaron considers as like vapor technology. But yeah, I just seen the comments there. So Nick has said is that the product is legal for the sticks or not. But yeah, I just ended up like trying to find the article regarding what I was talking about. So I'll just quickly read like a little bit from this article. So the Ministry of Health has laid charges against tobacco company Philip Morris New Zealand relating to a new type of non-burning tobacco product. The product IQOS was launched at the end of last year. It was promoted through an invitation-only website and used a battery-powered holder to heat tobacco sticks, known as heats. So heats is Heets, to give off vapor rather than smoke. Heats are heated rather than burned like a traditional cigarette to give smokers a nicotine hit. The ministry said it considered heats were tobacco products designed for oral use other than for smoking, and were prohibited under the Smoke-Free Environments Act. The charges have been laid at the Wellington District Court, and the case has been set down for the first hearing on June 2nd. The ministry said in February that the device was legal, but the sticks were not. Philip Morris said the ministry's move demonstrated the need for comprehensive reform so that smokers could switch from cigarettes to smoke-free alternatives. General Manager of Philip Morris New Zealand, Jason Erickson, said the company believed it was helping to advance the government's goals of making the country smoke-free when it introduced IQOS to New Zealand. Erickson said the company was confident that the sale of IQOS and heats fully complied with the Smoke-Free Environments Act 1990 and other relevant legislation in New Zealand. The section of the law referenced by the ministry in its actions against Philip Morris was originally put in place in the 1990s to address American-style chewing tobacco, Erickson said. We stand behind ECOS and heats, Mr. Erickson said, but it's clear that the old 20th century laws are not sufficient to address new 21st century technologies that New Zealand smokers are embracing as they move away from combustible cigarettes. I'm not going to carry on with the rest of the article. That's about half of it, but that pretty much narrows down like everything that was discussed regarding that product. So I suppose we'll find out what happens after June 2nd when they have that hearing as to what happens regarding that product and if the sticks become legalized. I still don't like the fact that it's still technically a tobacco product, even though
Yeah, I was just gonna ask what's your thoughts on heat not burn, but that's about my same view as well.
yeah, it's weird because when I saw like the little video, I suppose like the little advert for that product, I was like, it so looks like you're just inserting a cigarette into that thing, into that weird device. So I mean, personally, I would never pick that up. I mean, we have e-juices that are flavored, and it's like, why would you go from those nice flavored e-juices and back to something that's going to taste like a cigarette?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem logical. I'll out my e-juice. I'll keep vaping that. Thank you very much.
I can't say that if I'm trying to convert someone that's a product I'd recommend, but we know better. We have different product knowledge at our fingertips. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I know.
I'd be interested to see if any research is done on it. Like how safe is it? And I would prefer to see the study done by someone that isn't big tobacco. You know, like Philip Morris. If they're doing their own research and they say, it's like, oh well, it's at least 90% safer than smoking the traditional cigarettes. It's like, I want proof from somebody else. Sorry. So, like for us, like with vaping, we've got like the Royal College of Physicians or Public Health England that are doing those studies that we always fall back on because they're medical professionals.
Sorry, I just got distracted by chat there for a second. So that link actually isn't working for viewers overseas. It appears you need a New Zealand VPN. But I might be a little bit naughty, and seeing as it is up there for public viewing, I might rip it and put it up here on YouTube and put it up here on my channel for people to view it. Because whether it's pro or anti, and it's neither. I feel it's a neutral article with information. And like I said earlier, for you to go, hey, I want to know more, or still not intriguing me. You know, like from there after watching it, it's one of those where you could decide, hey, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. I might look into it, or you know, like just gives a bit more to those at home who know nothing either way, I guess, or just assume because they've heard nothing positive. Yeah, I'll see what I can do about getting that up on my channel. And I think it's one of those little ditties that would be useful for people overseas to see just what another country's doing and how our media is actually reporting it. When obviously, like if that link's not working for people overseas, then obviously not a lot of our media necessarily graces the global viewing audience. So yeah, it could be interesting to see the feedback from that. So yeah, I will endeavour. I will endeavour to sort that out. Unless, of course, you're tech savvy and you can get your hands on an NZ VPN. That link is in the description if you want to try and view it. So, on that note, my dear, Broadsides, Christmas VapeDay, Green Man E-Juice, amazing vendors, amazing people. We had an awesome winner for Adam Vapes giveaway tonight, and we've discussed what's going on in New Zealand's media. What else have we got to say this evening, honey?
We love you. No. I don't know. I think that pretty much covers everything unless people have questions. So what's your head number like, Megan? It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's so awesome. Oh, just a shout out to one of Brandon's friends that they work with over in the US. He brought Megs and I some Thirsty Cotton. You guys may have seen Thirsty Cotton around on Instagram, and Broadside Mods do a lot of giveaways and what have you with Thirsty Cotton. I got some US cotton. We both got some US cotton, so it's actually quite cool trying a new product that isn't on our shelves here.
I've got it in here on my goon.
Oh, do you? Awesome. I can't claim that right at this minute.
It was interesting to work with. Like the first time I tried to use it, it's like, okay, no, I need to find a different method. So what I ended up doing was, it's about 5 feet of cotton jammed into this big gorilla bottle. So what I wound up doing is that I would pull out like a length that I think would be enough to fit into my build. So this was a little bit wider when I first cut it. So I just pulled it out through the bottle, just did like a little snip, and then I just literally did what I do with cotton bacon. I just peeled off a bit, twisted it up, jammed it into the cotton.
I was wondering how to work with it.
It's quite good. Like I can probably get 2 more out of this one. So just break that in half. So yeah, it's good.
Cool.
I'm liking it so far.
With it yet.
Have
Awesome.
a tutu with it. It's good cotton. It's good.
Right,
And there's no like aftertaste or anything like you do that you get with some organic cotton that you try to use. Like you get that cottony taste. I get none of that with this.
I've still got a naked broadside, so I might whip that up after the show and give it a go. I feel so proud that I got my Admiral whipped on the show.
Yeah.
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 I'm always so busy talking. You're working something on the show. I always mean to, but you know.
I'm lucky that I have this up and running right now. I was planning on doing a bit more of an intricate build than what I have in here, but my father stopped by and picked up my drill. So I've got no drill. So I've got a basic parallel build in this.
Okay. Hang on, I just need to
It's not too bad. See if it'll come up on the camera. Focus.
Oh yeah. Just a
clean cotton.
Quick.
It's nice.
Awesome. Okay. I think we have covered everything, darling, and yeah, we've given lots of shout outs and love tonight. Hey Wade, and you're just strolling in as we're about to wind it up, honey. Yeah, I think we have covered everything. On next week's show, so is that the 31st? No. Yes. Okay. So next week's show, wow, it's only in a few days. So we're back to our Wednesday night here in New Zealand and late Tuesday night for the US and most overseas viewers. So that is Wednesday the 31st here in New Zealand and the night of Tuesday the 30th. So next week's show, in a few days' time, we are doing a wee little tasting of 4 of the flavors of the, I believe his range has 7. Sean, Mr. Vape Force e-liquids, Sean Drum, you were out in chat earlier, you might still be lurking. We're gonna taste your juices next week, honey. So that's what's coming up on next week's show, guys. Just a quick wee little tasting, just 4 juices. So we'll have a wee little ramble around that, I'm sure. And then the following show after that is the 1-year anniversary of 44th South E-Liquids. Blah, I'm getting tongue-tied again. So we're doing a hangout with 44 South. I have no doubt we'll be live in the chat. And we'll be hanging out and reminiscing over a year of awesomeness since we launched their business on our show. So that will be awesome. So that's coming up the following. That's on the 7th of June here in New Zealand, night of the 6th in the overseas in the US. yeah, I think that's everything for tonight. Is there any final hurrah you would like to say to the peeps?
Final hurrah?
I don't know. Just fell out.
Stay beautiful to each other and vape.
We all know me, such a woman of few words until you get really chatting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just the usual spiel, I guess. I mean, if you want to follow either myself or Mox, our links have been scrolling at the bottom of the screen there, and they're also in the description. But other than that, I mean, yeah, just be good to each other.
Be good to each other.
That's the only main thing that I can think of right now. Our community is filled with such a diverse group of people. Just be good to each other.
Share the love, Vape fam. Share the love. I'm trying to get my angle on my heart right. Share the love. All right, loves. Yeah, big kisses and hugs to you all across the globe for taking the time to come and hang out with us on our not usually scheduled night. And big loves to all of our fam who come and take the time in crazy hours of the morning to come and say hi to us wherever you may be in the globe. And of course, thanks to the lurkers, because, you come and lurk. So what's up? All right, guys, we're going to go out on a few clouds, and we will see. I'm going to read talking now. We will see you guys next week for the tasting of. Sean confirmed he has 7 juices in his line, but we'll be tasting 4 of them next week on the show. So that's Vape Force e-liquids coming up next week. And I say next week, but yeah, a few days away. So we're back to normal scheduled day of the week, I should say. Man, full of tongue. All right, we're outie. Loves to you all. Yeah, we'll have an after party. Hold out for the Zoom link. Oh, Moochie. Loves to the Moochie. You guys just rolling in as we're about to roll it up. Hey, Mooch, you can come out and hang on the after party if you'd like. So I'll throw the link out there in chat in a minute or two. And yeah, same bat time, same bat channel next week, guys. Loves to you all. Yeah, like Meg said, be good to each other. Keep it real, keep it foggy. And hang on, research, inform, educate, advocate. Big loves to everybody, and we'll see you in a few days. I do love the clouds my Admiral puts out. They're lovely. They're just lovely.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
So I hope everybody has a good week or a good few days till we see you again next. And yeah, come hang at the regularly scheduled programming time.
The cheese grin.
I know, right? Right, good to go whenever you are, darling.
Bye, y'all.